And both of these players are very, very experienced at this game. They know what they're doing. We've seen them fight oh so many times before, so it promises to be a whole lot of fun as we get ourselves ready for the first match in round number 1. It's Penzo versus Replicant. Penzo with the Springman going in with the Revolver and the Dragon. Lollipop on Replicant's side, meanwhile, coming in with a crack and a Coolerang, and already off to a great start. Pressuring Penzo with the overuse of that shield and immediately scoring a grab in response, but it's going to get pepped by the Dragon, which is a little bit more of an annoying arm for a lot of people, just for stuff like that. It easily has so much range on the laser itself, and if it just catches you in the air, it can cause so much annoyance. Penzo's going to come in with a nicely well-timed rush already. Grab didn't quite land, was just about punched through. Replicant is on the receiving end of a whole load of damage here. Already finds themselves in critical condition. They're going to have to use that bouncy nature of Lollipop to try and stop this laser, but it's not going to happen. Penzo immediately scoring another hit with that Dragon. Good start to the match. Going to pretty much lock in the same arms. Not tired of that at all. Lola, meanwhile, is going to switch out that left arm, switch it for a chiller. So going for the double chill strategy. And it's going to land themselves a 300 rush, but again, as they go for the bounce, Springman quick to notice it, quick to read it, and catches them not once but twice with that Dragon. Couldn't quite get the grab, but the Dragon is doing so much more damage that Replicant can't seem to keep up with it. They're finally starting to pace themselves a little bit more. The Rang does manage to clip Penzo as Penzo starts to tip towards critical. Obviously, remember that with Springman's main ability, there he goes. Now gets that little bit more of a buff. Again, slowed down by the chill. Replicant couldn't really put much pressure up to take advantage. Both with rush, but Penzo will not be able to KO at this range, so they have to try and chip Replicant down and not get caught out by, once again, another one of those. Or a rush. Gets the shock, able to get a follow-up punch. That's about it, but Penzo is a tap away from going down, and Replicant will equalize this, but just like that, Replicant is almost in critical. You feel like Penzo tried to go for that, tried to get themselves into position, maybe to go for the rush themselves, but it wasn't quite going to happen, and that's one apiece. Replicant immediately punches through that grab, sticking with that double chill loadout. Meanwhile, Penzo are going to bring in a Rang of their own. So Cooler and Dragon now really going for those. That much more of a situational play style, and that worked beautifully. 360. Lola immediately responds with a 275 of their own, but look at their health difference already. Replicant so hurt, almost into critical. And that's what you have to be careful of, especially with this kind of loadout. If the Rang can get you up into the air and the Dragon lands with the rush, that damage suddenly stacks up, and as you can see, Replicant is now a punch away from going down. That's exactly what's going to happen. The Rang hits right on the side, and Penzo, well, they had to fight through that second point, but they're going to start with that point lead. So as we update you as to what's happening both in the game and behind the scenes, the bands are just coming up now. This fight and the other fight that is going on alongside this is Ocarina versus Yoshi, and obviously the winner of that, like I said, both of these, the winners of, will move on to the top 8. And it looks like we're going to go to Temple Grounds for our second match. So still going to have some pillars. DNA Lab having 6 monumental tubes, and obviously being a big map by default. So now we're going to go into Temple Grounds, which has 4 pillars. They're not as big as the DNA ones, but at the same time, the map itself is smaller. The winner of this fight probably mention, will go on to fight the reigning champion, Grimwood. Shetty is going to be facing off against Yam in that round 2 as well. Shetty is our 5-time Scrapstar EU Series champion at the moment. But obviously, as we saw 2 weeks ago, Shetty and Iceman still fell down quite early, so Shetty is going to be aiming to go for this title this time around. Like I said, they've run the Scrapstar series 5 times in a row, and will likely be looking to try and defend it again tomorrow. So yeah, they're going up against Gam. Yada will face the winner of Okrim Yoshi, and then in the last round 2 match, we've got Iceman, who was the champion going in 2 weeks ago, who unfortunately went 0-2, which was a monumental shot. They will be going up against Aloria. So there's plenty to look forward to and plenty to report as we go along. And we're going to see a change, actually. Penzo is going to drop the Springman and come in with Helix. So we're going to go with our stretchy boy. Replicant has kept with Lola, but has also made some pretty big changes. A complete and utter weapon change as we see the Hydra and the Homie coming out. Meanwhile, Helix is going to rock in with the buff and the power baller, and it's already working quite nicely. 2 pillars down, make that 3 pillars down. Well, the strategy for dancing around these has not really been shown in this match because they're all pretty much down. Obviously the missiles, they leave that explosion. As long as they connect with something, they will set off the explosion. So you do have to be careful. And Penzo is going to go for the rush, but Replicant just about able to bounce away. Still took 240, which is still a lot of damage. The Replicant bounces in, activates rush of their own, scores 435. It's why you see people take the risk with the rush, even if the health gap is so high, because if you connect with a missile rush, you are going to immediately just cleave all of that health off. Penzo gets caught in the grab, but is still just about hanging in there, literally a punch away from going down. I was going to say they just need to not take damage, but that's exactly what's happened. Replicant has literally bounced back the way that they were hoping to. And we'll start with a point lead here. They're not going to switch anything. Penzo, meanwhile, also not going to switch anything. So both happy with how that went respectively, but for Penzo, they need to not get caught by Replicant's rush, because that's where pretty much most of the key damage came from. And right now, Penzo just keeps being tagged by the Hydra. It's a very good change that Replicant has made here. Both arms just about missing at this point, and Penzo reacted early, but it's caught in mid-air. No rush at all for Penzo, and that's exactly what Replicant needed. And this, no, it's not going to be big damage. Oh, yes, it is! 425. Penzo, I thought, had blocked the whole of it, but they let their shield down too early again and was caught out by the explosion. All Replicant need is one more hit, and that's exactly what they're going to find. And our first match of the stream is going to go to point 3. It's 1 apiece. Well, we knew the tournament was probably going to be close, but we went from a 2-1 win for Penzo to a 2-0 win on Replicant's side. So, who knows how this is going to go. And obviously, like I said, the winner of this will face the reigning champion, so who knows how this is going to play out. We have just been told that Mausoleum is the one that's coming up. And we are also going to see a switch on Replicant's side. Replicant announcing that they will No, not Replicant. Oh, no, right. Replicant literally posted in Discord going, oh, you're going to go Cobra then, are you? Yep, that's exactly what's happened. Penzo has switched out to Cobra, so we've went from Springman to Helix to Kid Cobra. Penzo going to bring in a Tri-Blast and a Gusher. Replicant has switched arms a little as well. Gonna stick with Lola, keeps the Hydra, but crucially he's gonna bring out a Birdchuck here. So we're gonna try and slow down Kid Cobra. Cobra obviously benefits from those larger arms, as you can see. They're a lot bigger than they should be. But as a result, Cobra does have a little less health, if I remember rightly. So they have to make every single one of their hits count. They also slide around every now and then, you'll just see it. The shield's up. Gonna block that one nicely. Grab doesn't quite connect, and you'll notice that because Penzo has the Gusher equipped, not only does the Gusher itself bounce very differently to every other arm, so it literally bounces across the floor, but grabs and rushes also do the same. So if Penzo goes for a grab, you'll see it when they do decide to do so. Not right now, because they're being completely pummeled by that rush. Nicely done there by Replicant. Hold them nice and square. That middle platform's starting to get a little weak. Needs to be a bit careful. The blast does catch Penzo out again, but is able to get a shot of their own. And unfortunately, he's going to get caught out by... Oh, I think... Yeah, caught out by the Hydra. Came down on the middle platform. And the trampoline is out. And we'll have that available for point 2. And so we'll start with a rush. That's exactly what they're going to go for, but they're not going to land anything with it. And that's what I meant about the Gusher. When it flings out, even with the rush, it bounces first before it hits the target. And it does that with the grabs as well. The grabs can also bounce. As another buff hit lands. Penzo going to get caught, unfortunately, by the Rang. The Rang just literally keeps Penzo in the air for as long as possible. It still deals a lot of damage in the process. Trying to use the trampoline for additional height advantage below. It's just keeping them at bay. Just every single time, just nicked out the air. It's going to get caught up by another buff hit. But crucially, Replicant is able to just about keep their distance. But it's going to get caught this time round, 280. And because the Gusher was the last arm to hit, it leaves a little bit of a poison stack. Just deals one little bit of damage. It can stack up to 3, but it's not going to let Replicant ruin him too much. Replicant comes in with the rush. They were a hit away, and now both are in critical condition. The grab just about missing from Replicant, who's going to get the last hit. If this does somehow go to time, Penzo will win it just marginally on health. So Replicant needs to do as much as possible to see if they can seal this in a 2-0. The grab just again missing. They've hit Penzo. I think Penzo still just about has enough health, but no longer. With 4 seconds to go, they unfortunately slid straight into another arm, and that's going to be Replicant winning it 2-0 on this point, 2-1 in the set. Oh, that's unfortunate, but that's just how it goes. With 4 seconds left, Penzo just couldn't hold on any longer, and it is Replicant who will go through to face Grimwood in round 2. Penzo will drop to the underground bracket, along with Yoshi Bowser, who also had a match free with Okrim. Okrim winning 2 points to 1 in the end. But not bad at all. So, Penzo and Yoshi are in the underground bracket. Penzo will face the loser of match 4, which is Iceman Aloria. Yoshi will face the loser of 3, which is Sheddy versus Yam. So, some tough matches potentially for them, depending on which way the coin slides. We are going to be streaming Sheddy versus Yam next. So let's get ourselves updated. Sheddy Yam. Round number 2. that is our next match. Gives me just enough time to actually correct these. Now Yam has been doing exceptionally well lately. Between them and Cosalina, they've been consistently switching places every now and then, so they're both always aiming for those top spots. And last time out, I think, did Yam take part last time? Let's see Yam's name on the note. No, they did. Yam went down into underground bracket early, and then fought their way through. Yam was involved in knocking out both Iceman and Sheddy last time out, before eventually going down to Nillis 2-0. So this is Sheddy is probably aiming for some revenge here today. But obviously remember that Sheddy comes into this as the 5-time reigning Scrapstar champion. So Sheddy is gonna look to put that to rest a little bit here. Buster Beach is our first stage pick. Sheddy is ready to go. Just waiting on Yam. Here we are. Sheddy's gonna come in with Ribbon Girl. Yam is gonna come in with Min Min. Sheddy on the left, Yam on the right. Ribbon Girl gonna come in with a Roaster, and that's Slamamander. Meanwhile, Minmin's gonna come in with a Phoenix and also a Roaster. So both gonna play the Unguided Glove. As Yam already catches Sheddy out. This surely won't be a repeat of the last cut, surely not. Sheddy already starting on the back foot. Yam is very much on top of this here. Both again landing the blow, but crucially it was Yam who got the better of it. Comes straight in with the rush, catches Sheddy out beautifully, and Sheddy is straight back into that corner. Surely can't be seeing an upset this big already, as Yam puts the pressure on the reigning Scrapstar champion. Just about missing with the Roaster. Obviously remember that it is a little bit harder to guide with this. Yam had an arm out, Sheddy went for the attack, but unfortunately Yam got it back in time and blocked it. Sheddy is still a punch away. It's not over yet though, there are 30 seconds left, but Yam has a decent advantage if they can hold position here. They're trying to go for that knockout punch, but Sheddy just using that mobility, playing the patient game, gets another quick little hit on Yam. And another grab as well. They're starting to pull this back bit by bit. Yam is slowly losing that momentum and gets another grab against them. Both now in critical condition, but Sheddy lost. Sheddy, what was that? Sheddy did all of the hard work and then stopped right in front of Yam and took the glove to the face. You hate to see it. And already going to get punished with a straight up rush from Yam. He's going to come in again with that Phoenix Roaster. Sheddy switching out to the tripod, gets a stun, but wasn't able to land the follow-up punch they were looking for. Does get the rush this time around though, 245. Immediately closes the gap to Min Min, gets a stun, gets a grab. Beautiful little combo, and now they're starting to put the pressure on Min Min. But it gets clipped a little bit there. Just to be careful. Min Min into critical condition. Wasn't able to get the KO. They even got the stun there. And suddenly Yam trying to get as much distance away as possible, but unfortunately flung out that punch just a little too far and is punished with a KO. And that was a quick turnaround there for Sheddy. Yam going to stick with the Roaster Phoenix and immediately caught Sheddy out. Knew exactly they were probably going to jump straight in. And again, Sheddy still gets the grab anyway. Suddenly Sheddy has just turned up the aggression. Like they know if they give Yam time, and it's again they've jumped straight down into another rush. 365. Yam has health lead, but we've seen Sheddy tear that away very quickly before, and Sheddy's getting a little too overconfident there. Gets the bolt. That's going to be a quick little grab. They've got rush as well, so they're going to see if they can pressure them into a mistake, which they have done beautifully. And now just pinned in the corner with nowhere to go. That's another stun. They're going to turn this around beautifully here. Yep, that's a grab. Shetty gets the KO. The second Min Min was in that corner, Ribbon did not give up at all. And well, despite having a high health lead, once again, Shetty just reverses the whole thing. And it's Shetty who comes out on top this time around, leading 1-0. As we wait to see what stage Yam decides to pick from here. Obviously, we're going to get 2 bans from Shetty first, and then Yam will decide DNA and Scrapyard banned. Remember, after the first point, 2 counterpick stages are available to pick, which are Scrapyard and Fire Dolls. They can be banned, and they can also be picked. Yam, despite being pinned in that corner for such a long time, especially during that last point, wants to go back to Buster. So we'll see if they've learned anything from that. Bearing in mind that Yam led the first point pretty nicely. Shetty started to come back in it in the second point, and then it looked like Yam was going to take the third point, and then in the blink of an eye, Min Min is forced into that bottom corner, the hot pocket as people like to call it. And from there it was just Shetty did not let Yam come out once, and it was a very delayed start there for Yam. Didn't get anything they wanted. But neither of them landed a punch just yet. Yam is going to come in with the power baller this time around alongside that roaster. Shetty going to stick with the roasted tri-ball since that worked so well for them in that last match. Gets another grab, and again has forced Yam into that corner immediately, and it's just straight up grabs them and flings them across the stage. And so far it's quite even on the health side of things. It's actually Yam who's gotten the rush up first. Shetty is still charging theirs and is actually going to block the rush this time round, so no dice for Yam this time. But so far Shetty isn't quite able to land the hits. Finally does so, gets the charged tri-bolt and the roaster, so nice 1-2 combo. Yam is going to block all of the shield, will break, so 70 damage in the end. Yam trying to predict where Shetty's going to go, but Shetty so far able to just about not only avoid, but deal a little bit of a follow-up punch. But that one blocked this time around. Ribbon Girl's mobility obviously allowing her to double jump in the air, so you just consistently just see her go. Which is why Yam is struggling a little bit to actually hit her now. And again, forced back into the corner, does get the pick with the power baller, does get the perma-charge up on their arm, and is going to connect with the rush this time round. That gives them health lead, I think. But then they jump into the arm. Oh, Yam again. Yam tried to go all or nothing there. Used the rush. Thought that they were going to be able to get it, but immediately jumped straight back down onto one of Shetty's arm. And, well, advantage is very much on Shetty's court. As Yam forced back down, and Ribbon is just playing all of the mind games at the moment. Does finally get the power charge back on that arm, making that roaster just that a little bit more powerful, that a little bit more intimidating. As Shetty tries to punch through, but can't quite make it. And Yam actually almost got the rush back up before Shetty even activates theirs. Does finally get the stun into the grab combination. Both now having a rush available. Shetty. Oh, they both hit at the exact same time, and in the end it goes Shetty's way. Yam thought about it, went for it, both hit each other, and it was Shetty who got the better of it. But ironically enough, they're still in a similar health position. It is Yam who goes into critical first, and again, Shetty just jumping all over the place. Finally caught by the power baller, both into critical again. Grab just about missing. That would have been crucial for Yam to land. And allowing Ribbon to be as close to them as possible. It's very risky to do that because all Shetty will need is one stun and they'll get the win, because a stun into a grab will do it. The grab alone will not, but now it will if they can connect one more time. Yam has rush, but you feel like they probably don't want to use this unless they absolutely have to. But they might not have a choice, because with 10 seconds to go, they need to get something. They have done, but it's still not enough. They need one more punch or one more hit. The rush is not gonna miss. Yam had all of the time to fire off that rush, but they held back. They held back, and unfortunately, it's Shetty who gets the win. It's Shetty who wins it 2-0. And the reigning Scrap Star champion makes up for being knocked out early by Yam last time out and advances into the semi-final. No, yes, the semi-finals. And they advance there 2 points to 0. So, on that note, it means that Yam drops down to go up against Yoshi Bowser. So we're gonna see how that one is going to play out. Do remember, I should probably mention that whatever happens in this Challenge Cup, we are going to have a brand new top 3 because Grimwood comes in as reigning champion. But Riffa and Costelina, who came 2nd and 3rd respectively last time out, have not entered this tournament. So it very much is the top 3 is very much up for grabs this time out. We also have confirmation that Yada has beaten Okrim 2 points to 0, so Yada will advance into the 2nd semi-final. And so now we wait for news between Grimwood, our reigning champion, and Flo Replicant. And we are waiting for results on Iceman and Aloria as well, so we will get those to you when we have them. Essentially, whichever set is finished first is the one that we'll be doing first. So let me just get semi-final 1 written up, updated, and we can head back to the lobby area to remind you all that this is the 33rd entry in the EU Arms Challenge Cup series, and that this wonderful little girl Tamashi Kanjo, is bringing you all of the action, and hopefully you're all enjoying yourselves a lot. Just a quick shout out to the chat real quick. We've got a lot of people in here at the moment. Consolina in there, it's good to see you. Replicant, Yoshi, Rafa, Chetty, Grimwood, Gilly. It's so nice to see all of you here. Hopefully everyone's having a good time. Nice that some of you are playing other games whilst we're at it. We have results. Iceman has beaten Aloria 2 points to 0, and since they are the first ones to be ready, they are the first ones that we are going to be spectating for the semis. So let's welcome in Yada and Iceman into the lobby as we prepare ourselves for the first semi-final. Remember, this is still best of 3. It is only the winners final, the underground final, and the grand final that will be contested in best of 5s. So it's still very much all to play for, and like I said, the underground bracket being a very much important part in this series. Which I should mention, that underground segment is now going to be getting started, since we now have a full set of what's happening. Aloria will go up against Penzo, and Yam will go up against Yoshi Bowser. Okrim will face the winner of Aloria Penzo. The winner of Yam Yoshi will face the loser of Grimwood Replicant, who we are still waiting on results for. So once we get them, we will let you know as soon as we can. In fact, I think we do have an announcement on the Discord. I haven't seen it updated on the bracket yet, but it does seem like the second semi-final will be Grimwood Shetty. I don't know the score on that yet, since Challenge hasn't updated. But it looks like our reigning Challenge Cup champion is through to the semi-final. Mausoleum is where we will be going to in the first semi-final. Yada and Iceman are ready to go. Iceman hoping to put to bed the weird shenanigans that happened last time out, where they didn't win a single match. It was a very weird moment. I just need to quickly switch those around. There we go. Iceman with the Min coming in with the Shakaram and the Ice Dragon. Yada coming in with Ribbon Girl, coming in with Toaster and Tribolt. So, matchup that we've seen character-wise just a moment ago. Let's see what these two what these two individuals will bring to the table. So Iceman trying to go for those stuns and the freeze, trying to either slow down or just dead stop Ribbon Girl's mobility as quickly as possible. Yada doing their best to not only just dance around but get these stuns. Got 2 stuns in a row but couldn't quite get the grab. Iceman broke it at the last possible second and replies with 2 1-2 stuns of their own. The Ribbon's going to punch right through the laser and the chakram. Rushes through for 290. Iceman is a punch away but not out of this yet. Trying to utilize the range of the dragon. If it can at least clip, it immediately slows Ribbon Girl down. And you bet that Iceman will try and fling in with a chakram at that point. Or even just a grab. Yeah, they're keeping their shield up. Being absolutely clinical with their movements. Just about managing to read Iceman on every level, but can't get that KO punch that they need. It's going to get caught with a stun though, and Iceman will punish with a rush, but they missed! They missed the latter half of their rush. They do get the stun, and with 10 seconds to go, well, this is incredibly close, but the dragon pips them. The Tribal and the dragon, I think, both landed at the same time, but in either case, the result is very clear. Iceman hung in there to the bitter end, just like Sheddy did in the previous match. And Iceman just about scores the first point in this match. They still need to win one more to start the set with a 1-0 lead. They're going to go down to a grab again, and Yada again building that health gap, already punching Iceman down past half. And now catches them out as well with a roll-time rush, and once again it's Iceman who drops into critical first. Can they do another comeback and bring this down? Well, not with that, they will not. Yada found a way through. Kept that aggression up nicely this time round, and just like that, it's one apiece. Iceman does start with rush advantage. Yada's got to charge that up all the way from the beginning. But providing they can keep landing these bolts and toasters, well, I think they might be alright. And they've blocked the rush again. Iceman's actually going to bring in a Sparky this time round. So go for stuns and shocks. Trying to go for the whole immobilization rather than the slowdown. And that is going to be 270 from the rush again. Yada just springing up from the trampoline. Just every single time they jump up, the bolt just goes as low as possible. It's a very cheeky maneuver, but it's very effective. And finally gets punished not once but twice in the middle of that trampoline, but it's taken Iceman so long to find these hits that Yada has already chipped away so much damage and has such a big lead. Unfortunately, the chakrams just aren't hitting. They finally do hit. Trying to get a quick punish on the way down, so good movement there from Iceman, but that again just drops them as well, and both are going to go for the rush, but it was always going to be Yada in the advantage there, and Yada celebrates with a nice little spring partying on the trampoline. Ribbon takes the lead. Iceman has a... No, it's not Iceman. Yada takes the lead 1-0. Good time for a drink. Yeah, I still don't have the results for Grimwood Replicant. They are still not being posted onto Challenge for some reason. I'm not 100% sure why. Hopefully that gets tidied up in a moment. We are going back to Mausoleum, so find ourselves in a position that happened with Sheddy Yan, where Yan was like, yeah, we're gonna go back to Buster, I want to do that again. So, let's see what happens again. And it's going to be a ribbon mirror match. Not going to be the same arms though, they're both going to bring a tri-bolt, so it's really going to be the case of who uses it better. Well, Yada's not going to use it all, so there's that. Yada's going to come in with a toaster and a cracker. Iceman is going to come in with a nade and a tri-bolt, so very much coming in with the heavy arm this time round. Does manage to get the bolt, but wasn't able to get anything else on top of that. Just about avoids the grab. Can't get anything else on them just yet. Remember, you can't really punch through the nade. It's a little bit heavier than the base glove. It's certainly going to punch straight through the popper. But at the same time, it is a fast arm that Yada does have here, so they're going to hope that they can at least get the quick punishes. But providing Iceman can at least either step away from them or just get the explosion with the nade, I think they might be relatively okay. Both players have rush available. I feel like if Iceman gets close enough and hits a stun, they may go for it, if not the grab. But both of them just using the mobility of the ribbon to just dash away, bounce away, and avoid all of these punches. Obviously it's a little bit harder for Iceman since they've got the nade, which is unguided. Yada thought that they were going to get the punish, but no, they were just a little too far away. Iceman lands beautifully, counter rushes, and Yada finds themselves in critical condition. But now Yada's forcing the self-destruct on the nade, which is why you just suddenly see Iceman flinging the nade out just a little bit more rapidly. And now they're on kind of similar health still. Oh, no, make that. Iceman wins. I was about to say that they were on similar health, and then Iceman just immediately knocked the words out of my mouth, and Yada was almost down. And I almost ate my own words twice over, because then Yada almost landed the grab, but Iceman just about avoided it and takes the lead going into this next point. Both start with rush available. Yada still coming in with the toaster pop. And Iceman's still going to come in with the nade and the triple. So both players believe that their respective weapons worked, and Yada finally lands the rush they were after last time out. It's 2-4-5. Not bad at all. Gets another windy knockback. And Iceman finds themselves past the halfway mark. And unfortunately can't score anything with the rush. They'll at least score 85, which is better than nothing. Yada very much knew what Iceman was going to do with that and bounced away for the most part. And again gets another quick punish with the pop. And that nade that's the risk you run with using nades, let alone any explosive arm. Gets the stun on Yada but could not punish. Yada's going to be the one who charges up rush first. Iceman not that far behind, but he's going to get caught by another knockback with the wind. They're just about avoiding the KO punch. Remember, just one more hit now at this point will give the point to Yada, and it's one apiece. If Yada can at least come back from behind in this point, they'll take the set 2-0. A very close 2-0, but a 2-0 regardless. And Iceman's going to bring out the bird chuck. Felt like the explosions were just hindering them more than helping, which, to be fair, it's a crucial thing that can happen if it's fully charged. If your opponent can knock it off your arm, they can force the explosion. And Yada able to bounce away and block out the rest of that rush, so little to no damage there this time round. And Yada's just waiting for an opportunity to strike, and there it is. The Iceman was already on the way back down and just fell straight into that rush. Iceman's got it all to do. Remember, the Bertrand does have two styles of attack. There's its vertical spin in the air. It does a more straightforward circular punch for it on the ground. And so far, the bolts and the chucks respectively were doing their job, and relatively back on the same health now. Just under 40 seconds to go. Iceman goes for the rush. Was very close to Yada anyway. And Yada could not respond in time. And Iceman is just a punch away from being able to square this set up. One apiece. Yada has 15 seconds to find a way of turning it around, but can't do it. They did have rush, but they could not get into a position where they could use it. And it is one apiece. And we have just been told elsewhere that Replicant has actually beaten Grimwood 2 points to 1, which means there's a really bad curse going around in this competition because the reigning champion has dropped down into the underground bracket on their first match again for the second week in a row. What in the world is happening? Well, so for those of you who weren't around last week for what was one of the more what the heck happened matches for a while, tournaments for a while, Iceman went in as reigning champion. Their first match against Kozlina, they lost 2-0. And then Iceman lost 2-1 to Yam in their second match in the underground bracket. I thought that couldn't happen again, surely not. But Grimwood has lost their first match, coming in as reigning champion. You gotta love the EU scene. It's like nobody wants the title, apparently. Or nobody wants to keep it. Sparring Ring is the match we're going to next to finish off our first semi-final. Yada is ready. Iceman is just about to ready up. There we go. Are we going to see another Ribbon Ditto? We are going to indeed see another Ribbon Ditto. Now the question then is, are we going to see the same arm? Yep, I see the same combination on both sides of the field. Yeah, I don't think anybody switched. Yada's coming back in with that toaster and the pop, and we're going to see Iceman bring back in the Burchuk and the tripod. So no switches on characters, no switches on arms. So that's going to be a very interesting match to watch here, and especially bearing in mind that obviously with Sparring Ring, well, there's no gimmick to anything, just all square, not really any places to hide. Well, very much no place to hide, but by that I mean you're in reach of anything unless you're literally in the two opposite corners. But that rush is going to connect onto Iceman immediately. Yada takes a nice health advantage. Iceman, let's see if they can put this pressure on just a little bit. A freeze or a stun would be really nice for them. But if they can catch Yada on the way back down with a rush, it would also be pretty optimal. Obviously having to be careful. The toaster, you know, it's a simple enough arm. It can be shut down, but sometimes all you need are the simple arms, and Yada's just gonna dance all the way around Iceman. Beautifully done. Got the little punish there, but Iceman has having none of that. Gets the stun into a grab combo, but still has an awful lot of work to do as Yada has just over half health. Iceman, as you can see, in critical condition. Probably 2 punches away from going down. Yada decides to use the rush and does get the KO in the end. Didn't want to take that to time apparently. And was getting a little bit getting a little bit annoyed that they couldn't get the landing, the KO punch that they wanted, so they just went, screw it, here comes the rush. It does mean that Iceman is not too far away from having a rush of their own, so it just depends on when they decide to use it. Iceman are going to go for the risk-reward strategy, bringing in the nade, so Burchuk gone, nade coming in. And that's going to connect. That's going to be some big damage, 290, not as big as I thought it was, but it's still, you can already see it's already put Yada past the halfway mark, so a good start for Iceman, but Yada is seconds away from getting a rush of their own, so Iceman needs to get the read on this, but can't. They had fully committed with both their arms and completely open to Yada's rush. But thankfully, there wasn't as much damage as I think either of them thought it was gonna be. The Iceman has been chipped away now, both on relative same health here. Iceman does have a rush if they can get themselves into a position. I think of course Yada into a mistake, because unfortunately they cannot afford to miss another rush. Again, another forced self-destruct on Iceman's side, both now in critical condition. Rush is going to come, but it's not going to... No, it does connect! It connected for about 30, and then Yada finally got the shield up. 15 seconds to go. Yada has rushed. Will they decide to just go for it? No, oh my word. Both on similar health. I think Iceman just about has the lead. But all it takes is one punch. Yada takes Iceman out in the nick of time. And well, Yada is through to winners final. Winning 2 points to 1. Iceman, again, is knocked down to the underground bracket. But I'm sure it will not be the last we see of them. So, I guess we're now gearing up for what is going to be quite an extraordinary second semi-final. Replicant versus Shetty. It's not going to be the two champions going at it now. It's Replicant. Replicant has thrown a massive spanner in the works there. So Replicant, who we haven't really seen fight in the cup that much lately, will be going up against the 5-time Scrap Star champion in a row, I should say, Shetty, in our second semi-final match. And just to give you an update of what's going on in the underground bracket, Aloria has knocked Penzo out of the tournament. A 2-1 match, so that went to a match 3 as well. And so did Yam versus Yoshi Bowser. That went in the favor of Yam in the end, so Penzo and Yoshi both crash out in 2-1 matches respectively. So good showing for everybody involved there. It means Okrim will go up against Aloria in the underground round 2 match. Meanwhile, Grimwood, our reigning Challenge Cup champion, will have to hope that they can beat Yam to advance into round 3 down there and keep their title defense alive in some way, shape or form. Already did the band say Shetty, and we are going to start on Temple grounds. So these two are ready to go. I'm gonna look forward to this. Whew. I should also probably point out that since Iceman has dropped down into the underground bracket, Iceman drops down into underground round 3, they will face the winner of Grimwood Yam. So we're just waiting for Replicant and Shetty to ready up. Like I said, Shetty is aiming to make amends for last time out, since they have won the scrap for 5 weeks running at this point. They are determined to finally add that Challenge Cup to their repertoire. But they're going to have to get past Replicant, who has just knocked out the reigning Challenge Cup champion. So Replicant will be aiming to do two surprises in a row, as I need to quickly switch those two names around. Shetty on the left coming in with Twintail, Roaster and the Coolerang. Replicant coming in with the Lola, it's the Hydra and the Homie. And already going to inflate that shield and just start waddling away as Twintail moves to go behind the pillars. One immediately down in the first 15 seconds. I'm pretty sure the rest will follow very quickly, especially with the explosive nature of those missiles. The grab just curving away from Replicant that time, as neither of them have really landed a shot yet. I think chip damage on Replicant's side, but that's about it. Finally the Hydra pops through not once, but twice. 2 good goals from Replicant there. The slowdown effect just about giving Shetty enough time to dodge out of the way of the up and one. Replicant got the bait out with the grab, but couldn't get anything else with it, and Shetty with a perfect counter. Beautifully done. And that certainly tipped the scales into their favour. Replicant going to try and bounce away, set themselves up to something else. Obviously, every single time that missile comes out, you see Shetty try to shield it as much as possible, because, well, they just don't have the arms to really hit it. They can throw out a Coolerang and hope it hits, but you can never take that kind of tactic for granted. It does get a quick little knockdown, forcing Replicant to a couple of issues. That's going to be a nice little punch into a grab. Replicant 15 seconds away from losing the opening point here. Shetty still has rush available, so they're just probably going to hold this on for 5 seconds. There's probably nothing Replicant can do now to tip this any further. Does get a missile hit but it won't matter. Shetty wins that with still over half their health remaining. And Shetty is sitting comfortably at the moment. Replica going to come in with a slightly different strategy, going to drop the missile for a bird chuck, but unfortunately kept their shield open just a little too long. Shetty quickly punishes that with a grab. Replicant goes in with the bounce, but can't get anything with the rush. And now once again, Shetty with the counter rush just punches straight through the lot of it. And Replicant already finds themselves past the halfway mark. Stun into a grab. Combo that we've seen so many times. And Replicant is practically in critical condition. And finally gets a grab in there. The slowdown effect happened. I thought Shetty thought that they were far enough, that they were just enough out of it, but the game says no, it's a grab. Arm weak on the left hand side, but really it didn't matter. Trinitol gets the grab, that's all she needs, and Shetty is going to take a point lead. So a good start for Shetty. It was the start that they needed, and they are closing in and booking their ticket into winners final. Well, obviously we will then be having our first best of 5 match of the stream. And Replicant is going to do what a couple of other people have done so far in this tournament. They look at the bands and they just go, you know what? Let's do that again. Let's go temple again. And it looks like we're just waiting for a couple things to finish on their end. Meanwhile, I can have a quick look. I don't think we've got any word from the underground matches just yet. So once we hear stuff from that, I'll let you know. Shetty is ready to go, just waiting for Replicant. I think the slight issue there for Replicant was mostly the rushes. Every time they went for the rush, not only was Shetty able to either block or get away from it, but they were able to counter rush it beautifully. And wow, okay, Lola's going for some very heavy arms here, so nade and homing. So, well, I hope you like explosions. There's going to be a lot of them on Replicant's part. Shetty is going to go roaster Coolerang as we go back into our 4 wonderful little pillars, and the explosions again connecting on Shetty. It's a slightly different config that they are running here, Replicant. Like I said, go for all of the big explosions, their heavy arms. And Shetty able to get the grab, slow that momentum down just a little bit, but Replicant's playing a very different game here, where they are trying to go for these big punishes, and they missed! They do manage to catch an explosion right near the end of it. You see quite a lot of that damage immediately come back in. 270 from Shetty's rush. But that was a missed opportunity there from Replicant. They managed to get the rush. They caught Shetty unawares, but missed. They missed their first punch, which gave Shetty enough time to get the shield up. They didn't dare move just because the size of the explosion of the rush. Shetty does find themselves in critical first. An arm weak on the right side, but it's going to punish that quick punch into a grab. Replicant now joined them in critical. In fact, actually goes past them. And is punished not once but twice. And just like that, Shetty will take the lead here. Replicant now going to come in with the bolt and the missile, and look at this. Big, tasty damage from Replicant. 515 from that rush. That was exactly what Replicant needed, and lands another solid bolt hit. but unfortunately got a little bit too carried away, tried to go for another, and Shetty just goes, no, here's a rush, that'll shoot you down quite nicely, but falls foul to another charged up Tri-Blast. Shetty finds themselves in critical condition. Replicant has, well, just over 3/4 of their health still to play with. Unfortunately, try to force Shetty to leave them alone after that freeze, but Shetty comes in with the grab and all of the height advantage in the world, but it's not going to save you from another big explosion. As Replicant goes into the next point, having tied this match up. But it's not over yet. Replicant still needs to win this point to tie the set at 1 apiece and keep this going. They're going to get caught with another stun from that Coolerang. But unfortunately, Shetty has done this time and time again where if they pin you in a corner, if you make any kind of move against them, they're going to rush in your face and there's nothing you can do about it. And just look at this consistent pressure here. Replicant finally able to get out of the corner, but it doesn't matter. They get caught with another grab and Shetty's going for a perfect here. If Replicant cannot stop them, I think they got chipped. No, I don't think they did get chipped. I don't think the explosion counted. That one finally does. Replicant has literally got to make a monumental comeback here with a Tri-Blast and a homie. They are one tap away from going down. Shetty has rushed. Here it comes. Will it break the shield? It did break the shield, and I think Replicant knew that it was going to do that. They're going to go down. Shetty is going to win this 2-0, and the current Scrapstar champion progresses into the winners final of the Challenge Cup. And they will face off against Yada to decide who goes through to the grand final. Meanwhile, we've had yet another match 3 happen in our best of 3 sets. Okrim has beaten Aloria 2-1, and they will now move ahead to face off against Replicant in the Underground Round 3 match. Meanwhile, Grimwood has beaten Yam 2-0, so Grimwood will seal the deal there. Yam will not be going any further this time round. Out 2-0, and our reigning Challenge Cup champion is still in this tournament, but now they will have to beat Iceman if they want to progress any further. That is currently happening in the underground bracket, and like I said, coming up next is Shetty versus Yada. Our best of 5 winners final. Both of these two have had quite an interesting journey to get this far. Shetty having to overcome Replicant and Yam. Meanwhile, Yada having to beat Iceman and Okrim. And to be fair, they've been some pretty hard fights. Yada obviously having to go the distance with Iceman. Both Shetty and Yada beat their first opponents, Yam and Okrim, with 2-0. And Replicant certainly made Shetty fight for their win, even though it did end 2-0. Again, sometimes the 2-0s never really tell the full story. And we just do confirm that down in Underground Round 3, it's Replicant versus Okrim and Iceman versus Grimwood. The winner of those 2 matches will progress into the Underground semi-final, which we will likely be streaming after this match. So they're just doing their bans whilst we wait for Yada to jump in. Once again, if you're just joining us, this is the 33rd EU Arms Challenge Cup. I am your commentator, Tameshi Kanjo, and hopefully everyone is having a good time, whether they're watching in or out of the chat, or if they are a participant as well. We thank you very much for not only joining, but for watching everything that's currently going on. We are into winners final now. This is going to be our first best of 5, and we are going straight back to Temple Grounds. Every tournament we have one stage that appears a lot. This today it goes to Temple Grounds. Shelly going to come back in with Twin Tail. Yada is going to come in with Bite and Bark. So we're going to see our Robo-Doggo combo. And I imagine Shelly is probably not going to play much different from how we normally see. There we go, Shelly on the left, Yada on the right. Twin Tail coming in with the Roaster and the Chakram. Meanwhile, Bite and Bark is going to come in with the Parabola and I believe the Thunderbird. Yep, it's the Thunderbird. And the one of those immediately just bounces straight off the pillar as we get ourselves geared into match number 1. Remember, with Bite and Bark, they have a whole lot of height that they could take advantage of if they bounce off their wonderful doggo friend, but they can't if it's down, which is what Shelly is keeping an eye on every single time that dog comes back up. Shelly is trying to take it straight back down. Got a first initial hit on the rush, but couldn't get anything else. Yada not only stops it, but punishes with a shock into a grab of their own, and forces another grab. Shelly had nowhere to go. And you see that Yada does have a randomized third glove that consistently pops out from Bark every now and then. And here comes another big time rush. 175. It's not much in the grand scheme of things, but right now it certainly is making its impact known. Yada has a little bit of a lead here. Shelly going into critical, loses the arm on the left hand side completely. And Yada keeps this pressure up, but they need to be careful. They can't be too aggressive against Twin Tail. Twin Tail actually got clipped by the actual glove from Bark there. That was pretty amazing. Yada was down to the ground, and again Bark saved Yada's life there. If you did not see that, basically Shelly grabbed Yada and Bark managed to punch Shelly to free Yada from that grab. That was absolutely amazing. And Yada is just about able to cancel that rush in the process. Bark goes down again there. Your sacrifice is certainly not in vain, my friend. And again, Shelly's going to just get clipped by the Parabola as Yada starts to use the height advantage that Bark is given, just bouncing up every now and then. Also using the Parabola to slow their descent as well while they're at it. And they're finally able to slow Bark down just that little bit more. Again, just another charged punch. Gives them an opportunity to take Bark down immediately. Connects with the rush. That's a whole lot of damage. 265, might have been 95. Yada's got it all to do. And they're actually going to commit to this rush. They won't break the shield. They're going to get minimal damage. They do break the arm on the left. And they're able to just about punish it. Probably not in the way they'd have liked to. And 40 seconds to go. Yada's still got quite a wall to climb here. They are in critical. Arm weak on the right hand side and actually does go down. Shelly gets the grab. Beautifully done. That's really closed this gap nicely for them. They just need to make sure they don't get caught with a stun or a grab at this point. 20 seconds to go. There's the grab. That was literally what I said you had to be careful of. And unfortunately with Bark down right in front of Twin Tail, they could not get up in time to stop that one. It is one apiece. Yada unfortunately can't take full advantage of the rush, but it doesn't really matter too much. They already had it charged up back onto Shelly's level. So not really an advantage on either side of things here. And Shelly is going to catch Bite and Bark out. Good old rush there. And Shelly also punishes again with another grab. And as Bark tries to check upon their good friend, it just gets punched from behind. How could you, Twin Tail? How could you? Yada's gonna go for a double electric setup this time around, coming in with that Thunderbird and the Sparky. No charge hits that time around, but just enough to get them knocked down, but could not punish with the grab, but it also doesn't matter. part of you might have thought that was just as planned, but they also didn't get the knockback. But again, doesn't really matter. They got the grab, and just like that, Yada has health lead. Shetty knocked into critical condition. Almost does have rush available to them if they can just wait out just a couple more seconds. And Yada is in a little bit of a bother. They try to go for the jump and try to evade it, but it did not happen. Now Shetty is just going to see if they can wail in Yada into this corner, but Yada is fighting back out. Shetty just a little bit too aggressive in all of that, and it is going to land in Yada's favor. Bite and Bark will take the first point. Those grab cancels. Those grab cancels indeed. That certainly set up the tone of how close that match was going to be. The fact that Shetty could have got the win with that grab, and Bark literally saved Yada's life. And that's the setup that you have to plan for when fighting against a character like Bite and Bark, because, you know, with everyone else it's like, okay, this is literally who I'm fighting. With Bite and Bark it's like, okay, if I don't take out this little doggo, Bite is going to have so much more mobility, so many more options, and just, no, it needs to go down at every possible opportunity. We are going to Mausoleum for match number 2. Yada leads this one by a point to nil. Remember, winner's final is best of 5. Shetty is going to stick with the twin tail. Yada is going to switch. We're going to see the switch come out. And it's going to be Kid Cobra. And Cobra... Yada, what are you doing? Yada, what are you doing? Yada, you're going to come in with not one, but 2 tasty little scorpions. So double the poison and also double the ways of which you're going to fight here, because obviously the scorpions, they literally waddle along like scorpions if you fling them on the ground, but if you fling them in the air, much like how with the Fun and Burchups, they have a different way of actually launching. They become horizontal, they become discs essentially. And so far, Shetty, I don't think was expecting this in the slightest. They're already in critical condition. Would you believe it? Both characters have rush available, but Yada has such a monumental health gap that, well, yeah, that was only ever going to go one way, wasn't it? Yada came out of that swinging hard. Twintail had no idea what just hit her. It's like, wait, what? Not only is this a different character, Double Scorpion has just ruined her day. And now Shetty is going to have to fight back big time if they wanted to have any kind of semblance in this. Catches Cobra out in mid-air. Nice 370 damage. Well, Cobra's got to do it all this time round. Gets frozen. Waited as long as possible and was able to stop Shetty's grab attempt. And look at this, poison stack up to 2. Make that 3! Yada has applied the full poison stack on Shetty. It will dip away in a moment, and the slowdown just about gave Shetty enough time to react to it. But Yada is on the precipice of winning with Double Scorpio. Alright, show of hands, who actually saw that coming, because what the hell, Yada? Well, damn. Yada leads 2 points to nil. And Shetty, well, Shetty's got to do the reverse sweep. Shetty will have to do the reverse sweep if they want to remain, if they want to book their ticket into the grand final without having to fight through the underground bracket. And it's going to be Shetty. Wow, they're both switching. They are both switching. So Shetty has dropped Twin Tail, and it's going to go Ribbon Girl. And Yada has switched again. This time Yada has switched into Max Brass. So two very different characters this time around for the pair of them. Shetty going for the quick, agile, the mobility that Ribbon brings, and also some very quick hitting arms with that Slapamander and the Roaster. Yada meanwhile going big or go home essentially. A chiller for stopping Shetty, well, for slowing Shetty down, and the Megawatt for not just punching through anything that Ribbon flings their way, but also for some tasty shocks. But so far, it's Shetty who's able to just about stay on top, but isn't going to land anything with that rush. Yada just quickly charges back up again, but is knocked down immediately. Remember, there isn't really much place to really hide range-wise here. Yada wasn't able to get the first initial hit, does get 200 in the end, so again, always better than nothing. And this is where Shetty is going to have to be a little bit more careful here, because now that's a perma buff and punishment of the overuse of that shield. Big time grab, and that is going to be a KO. Max Brass in critical form is always scary, because the damage is higher, and the grabs are already deadly enough with Max Brass. You do not want to be hugged by a critical stage Max Brass. You just don't. And Shetty gonna come in with the rush. I thought Yada blocked it initially, but they must have decided to try and go for a move, and Shetty was very quick to actually hit the next part. And still do 240, I think was the number in the end. Yada already almost in critical condition. Shetty not even past the 3/4 line yet, so Yada's got it all to do. As Shetty finally starting to get into the swing of things, but finally caught out by a quick little chill punch. But somehow the Megawatt just about phased through Ribbon, and that's going to be a very quick punish. Chilled into another big hug. This is going to be a hit. It is going to be a hit. 275. Shetty in critical. One more hit or one grab will do it. But that rush will also do it. And that is essentially what Shetty is looking for. Get Max Brass low enough so that he doesn't nip into the critical stage, and just rush KO from there. But that is the start that Yada wanted. Going to stick with that Megawatt and the chill. Gets the shock on Shetty. Not quite able to get the second one, but that is not going to do Shetty any favors. And that is a quick, nice little 1-2. If the chill hits and the Megawatt is already coming, that one is going to hit you like a ton of bricks. Yada goes down to another charged roast. Yada has a slight health lead, but it's being chipped away. And Shetty not only got closer to Brass, but just punished the overuse of that shield. It's why you have to be so careful when you have that up. But now the rush comes out, and Shetty, unfortunately, they were already fully extended out. It was always going to be a bad time there, but does manage to get a roaster hit of their own. Brass bulks up and jumps into a rush. You thought Brass might have been able to swing it by like they did in that first point, but Shetty was aware enough to go for that rush. Yada, unfortunately, was already committed to the jump, and Shetty is not out of this yet. It's 2-1. And speaking of matches that are 2-1, Grimwood, our reigning Challenge Cup champion, is through to the Underground semi-final. They have beaten Iceman by 2 points to 1. So, impressive displays from everyone all around. It does mean that Iceman does not progress any further. They've certainly done better than they did last time out, so they've certainly made amends of that at the very least, but they've still got a ways to go if they want to regain the Challenge Cup title further down the line. But that's okay. So DNA Lab is going to be match number 4 here. Sheddy still needs to win this if they have any chance of automatically booking their ticket into the grand final. Both are ready to go, and Yada once again has gone for the switch. Max Brass has taken a lot of damage and therefore shrunk back down into Springman. And we're going to see Ribbon Girl again coming back out from Sheddy's side of things. That Roaster and Slap going to fully committing to that loadout. Yada, meanwhile, Springman coming in with a Roaster of their own and also a Coolerang. So both going for a curvy nature with the Roaster. And it's Yada who started off a little bit better. Just about avoided the follow-up grab from Sheddy and the second. And clips Ribbon Girl out of the air since Sheddy was very much committed to that attack. Gets the freeze. Was not able to get anything else. Sheddy was patient enough there. Allowed the punch to come. And then just clips them straight back down. Forcing Sheddy further and further away. Remember DNA Lab is a much bigger stage than the pair of them have been playing on so far. Obviously, you know, you go from the confined space of sparring ring into a stage like this. Sheddy will punch straight through that tube, take it down, deal a lot of damage to Yada, who does manage to get a little tap in with the Coolerang. And both now find themselves in critical condition. Springman, just like Brass, gets that little buff up, that big buff up as you can see there. Also has rush available. Does get the freeze, but can't punch. Does get another freeze, and there is the grab. Brave from Yada to commit to that. But Sheddy did have the shield up just a little too long, dropped it, got froze, and Yada took that opportunity, went for the grab, and it paid off. Sheddy is going to drop, so both are going to fling in with a Roaster Cold combination. Sheddy coming in with a Burr Chuck this time round. Does get the little tag on Yada, but can't get anything more than that just yet. Flings in with the rush. Springman can't defend it. Still keeps them just about above half health. Sheddy has not been hit yet. The Roaster just about flings off to the left of Ribbon. And so far, this is very much all Sheddy. Both the ice weapons just sort of cancelling each other out there. Sheddy gets tapped for one and then immediately responds back with 3 big-time hits. Sheddy almost with rush back available. They're playing a much more patient and methodical game here, shutting down Yada at every opportunity. And Yada finally gets a hit, closes up the gap. Sheddy went for the grab to try and punish that close range, but it didn't happen. Instead, they fling out a rush instead. And that will be enough to equalize this match 1 apiece. If Sheddy can win this, we go to match 5. Yada is still on set point, but they need to turn this around, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Sheddy again overextended, punished, 350 rush. It's still all to play for. Sheddy does get the freeze, and it's going to get the grab. Yada kept shield up just a little too long. It's all well and good doing that to try and bait out a grab, but it's also equally dangerous that if you don't fling it out in time, it's going to connect. And look at this, Yada is already almost in critical condition. Sheddy has just pinged past half health now, but again another chilled hit into a grab. Yada gets the buff up. Here comes the rush, but it's not going to land, and Yada will shield through the rest of that, but they can't afford to take another punch here. They've got to be careful. One more hit will knock them out. They do have rush. They do have the buff state. Crucially here, they need to hope that that unguarded arm is not good for Sheddy as they bounce around, just about able to block. When will they commit to the rush? Will they want to use it early, or will they try and get Sheddy into KO range? As long as Sheddy is just doing this double jump, it's going to put so much pressure on Yada, and it's exactly what it's done. It's forced Yada into another mistake. It's 2 apiece. We're going to match 5 in our first best of 5. And Sheddy is on the cusp of a reverse sweep. The winners' finals, I swear, are never straightforward affairs, and this is once again no exception. Yada had a 2-set lead. Sheddy has managed to score 2 back. Same stage. Same bands, same stage. We're going straight back to DNA Labs. And Yada has switched again. As Yada comes in with Min Min this time. And Min Min is fully committed to exactly what they want to do. Megawatt and the Biff. So if you see Biff's face just suddenly appear on the left hand side of the screen, you know why. Good shock into a grab combination for Yada as they are going full on serious time now. And there we go. There's his wonderful little face. Yeah, if that thing is charged, it'll annoy you more than anything. And unfortunately, Sheddy falling foul of the megawatt charge in your face. If you've already fully committed to flinging an arm, there's nothing you can do apart from just watch it slowly come up to you. And now the traditional DNA Lab dance finally happens as they both jostle around the tube. Sheddy tried to go for the rush but could not connect on any level, and that is just brutal from Yada. Didn't even bother to go with the grab, was just like, well, here's the what in your face again. They knew they didn't need to. Yada once again finds himself on set point. Sheddy comes in with the bird chop this time round. As the rush comes out, biffs to the face, 150 damage. The what I don't think hit in the end. And Sheddy just about jumps away from it. It's such a scary thing. It may be slow, but boy, if it hits you, you'll know about it. Sheddy gets the freeze. That'll slow Min Min down for a little bit. Gets another quick little chuck hit and another roast as well. Here comes the rush, but look at this. Yada just dancing right around that tube, using it as a second shield essentially. And that rush will not go well for Sheddy. So they'll have to charge it up all over again. And once again, Sheddy has already flung out an arm and knows there is no way they're stopping that what from hitting them. But they are able to get a grab. Good positioning in the end. And unfortunately, you never want to be in a position like that. But Yada could not punish it in time. They tried to, but not this time round. You notice with Min Min, every single time they charge up that left arm, that's their dragon arm, they'll permanently charge the arm until they get knocked down. And there it is again. It's why Yada chose a stage like this, because it gives them so many chances to charge it up. And Sheddy knows this fully. And that is unfortunate from Yada. They tried to do a big read on Sheddy. It didn't happen. And not only that, Sheddy then punishes the call that Yada made to go back and charge, because unfortunately the grab happened. It's 1 apiece. Whoever wins this is through to the grand final. It's as simple as that. And yont again, Yada did the same mistake twice in literally the space of 10 seconds. Decided to go back to do a charge, and Sheddy just immediately reads it with a grab. Now you feel like Yada will definitely charge it up. That definitely came way too late this time, because Sheddy was still in the process of recovering. And that's going to be a free grab for Yada this time round. But they have to be careful, because again, knocked straight back down by the hands of that roaster. Yada may have rush available, but they need to be careful because Sheddy will dance around it again. Yada couldn't get anything and tried to fling out a punch, and Sheddy was already ready with their rush. It's advantage to Sheddy. Reverse sweep, possibly on. Does get a hit from the Biffler. Just about avoids the chuck and gets caught again. Similar levels. Yada has the what charged back up with 40 seconds to go. Both are charging up the rush very slowly at this point, so it's really just a case of who lands what first. And it literally is the what that lands first. Straight into a combo as well. Sheddy into critical, 25 seconds on the clock. Yada should get rush available first. One more hit will take Sheddy down, and Yada will save the set and definitely do it in style. Grab connect. Sheddy came from 2-0 down to tie the set up 2-2, but could not complete the reverse sweep. And Yada books their ticket into Grand Final, having used 5 different fighters in that match, in that entire set. What an amazing match. And that was Winners Final. We're not even at the Grands yet. Wow. Yada books their ticket into the Grand Final with a 3-2 win over the current Scrap Star champion, Shetty. Meanwhile, in the underground bracket, boy do we have some news for you. Akrim has beaten Replicant. Where did that come from? Where on earth did that come from? Replicant is out, having knocked out the current champion 2 points to 1. They dropped to Shetty and dropped to Akrim 2-1. So the underground semi-final will be between Akrim and reigning champion Grimwood. All bets officially off. No idea how this is going to go. Our reigning champion has it all to do because not only will they now need to beat Akrim in our last best of 3 of the tournament, they will then have to beat Shetty in the underground final. So if Grimwood wins this, we've got the 2 current champions of 2 current tournaments battling it out in the underground final. If Akrim beats Grimwood, I don't even know what to say to that. So we'll see how this all plays out as we ready ourselves for the underground semi-final. Let's just update all of that for you real quick. So Akrim versus Grimwood. And update. And there you go. If you are just joining us, welcome to the 33rd entry of the EU Challenge Cup. I am Tomasi Kandro, and this girl is coming to you live with some amazing arms actions. There have been some close sets from start to finish. We're not going to do the underground semi-final, it's already been done. Grimwood has won 2 points to 0. Akrim will finish in 4th place. I'm so used to doing the underground semi-final, but it's not happening this time around. So yes. Let me just quickly bring that up. So Grimwood has defeated Akrim 2 points to 0. Akrim, well, they've done phenomenally well. They were knocked out by Yada in round 2. From there, they beat Aloria 2-1, Replicant 2-1, and then finally going down to Grimwood 2. Akrim will finish a fighting 4th. Congratulations, Akrim. You've done phenomenally well, and I hope to see you again in the next competition. But yeah, we are now gearing up for our underground final. We are in the top 3 now, my friends. And it is going to be the 2 champions that will be fighting it out. Shetty, the reigning Scrap Star champion. 5 weeks in a row they've held the Scrap Star Series title. Will they be able to defend that tomorrow evening? Well, that's a question that will have to be answered tomorrow night. Right now, the question is, can Shetty take out the reigning Challenge Cup champion Grimwood, book themselves into the grand final, and re-challenge Yada for the glory? Or will Grimwood be able to somewhat break the current trend that's been happening in this competition and get themselves into the grand final? Because yeah, two cups in a row we've had the reigning champion knocked out in their first match. So Grimwood's made it all the way to the underground final. If they could beat Shetty, that'll at least make sure that the champion from last time around does actually make it to the grand final. So, yeah, the underground final, the fight for essentially third place at worst, is going to be between our two current champions in two of our current ARMS tournaments. The bans are coming up. DNA Buster and Sparring have been banned, so that leaves us with a choice between Mausoleum and Temple Grounds, and I think it's Grimwood who will be deciding where we go. And once we have results, we will be good to go, and it's Temple Grounds that we'll be heading to first and foremost. So, hope everyone is ready for this. This should be a lot of fun. Shetty once again coming in with Ribbon Girl, Grimwood coming in with Lola. All bets are off on how this is going to play out. Whoever you're backing in the chat, make it known as loud as you can. As we get ourselves underway, and it's Shetty who's immediately sent to the other side of the stage, because of course that's how it starts, not once, but twice. Grimwood very nearly got a connect with the grab as well, and Shetty is already in a world of trouble. Does finally get the freeze, but can't quite get any further punishment on top of that. Grimwood with the Lola coming in with the normal rang. Always nice to see it. And with the Hydra as well, so that Hydra there to try and stop and slow down Ribbon as much as possible. And meanwhile, Ribbon coming in with that Roaster and the Birch up. And does manage to land another hit with that Bird, comes straight up and just rushes right in Grimwood's face, but Grimwood not flinching in the slightest, held shield up the entire time. Is not going to take much damage from that, but is caught again by the Butcher. Very close matches here, but finally Shetty is caught by that Windy Rush. Down into critical gate they go. And Grimwood again being forced all the way back into the corner, but that doesn't bother Lola as much as it does other fighters, since they're able to waddle around with shield up anyway. Shetty has 20 seconds to try and find a way of coming back into this match. They are a punch away from going down. They're going to have to land a good series of hits here if they're going to bring this back. They're going to go for the rush. It does connect, and they're going to do exactly that. Grimwood needs to hit at least once. Oh my god, they do! Grimwood, please. Grimwood took the entirety of that rush. Shetty had the lead for 1 second before Grimwood managed to get a very instantaneous follow-up punch. And Shetty will be kicking themselves for that one. And Grimwood also catching Shetty in a rush right at the start of this match as well. And look at this, Shetty is already in critical condition. That really did completely upset that momentum that Shetty was firing in on. And just like that, the advantage is very much in Grimwood's favour. Lola Pop is definitely smiling for sure. Shetty's going to come with the rush. It will connect once again. 305 damage, but they've got a long way to go. Almost got the grab, but Grimwood gets a little bit of a punish. And here comes the KO. And Grimwood will start with a 1-point lead in the Underground Final. I think Shetty will be a little annoyed about how that first point ended, but that's the risk you run. Like, on the health bar with 2 seconds to go, it looked like Shetty had just got the lead. But when you're that close with the rush just ending, it's easy to try and go for that KO, but at the same time, you gotta have some distance, because Lola by default is going to try and come in with a straight up punch. Grimwood called that beautifully. It was unfortunate for Shetty in the end, but that's just how it goes. Match number 2. It's going to take us to sparring ring. Ribbon staying in, so is Lola. And I noticed that Shelly is bringing in the Fun Chuck this time round, so switching out the freezing for some stuns. Going to keep that roasted though at the very least. Grimwood keeping the exact same setup that won the previous match. Thinking if that could slow down and catch out Ribbon Girl, then it may as well catch her out now, even more so, now that there's nothing to stop them. Both actually connected there. Shelly did connect with the stun, but because they got punched at the same time, their action was a little delayed on coming out, which is why Grimwood just about got away with it. Was not able to get away with that rush though, 320 damage. Grimwood has quite the health deficit to make up for here. Just managed to get another hit in, and these kind of hits, they can start getting away from you, and Shelly knows that, you know, in a charged state, if that Rang hits, there's a very high chance that Grimwood will go for a ton of punish. And so far, not the case. Shelly able to just about keep on top of this here, bouncing around as always. And Grimwood tried to go for the rush, but not to be. Shelly blocked the entirety of it, gets caught with the Hydra, and again tipped out in mid-air, and that's a very risky decision for Grimwood to be that aggressive, but they did bait the rush out of Shelly. Beautifully done, hits with the Rang as well, and Grimwood hanging on in here. 20 seconds left to go. A grab here will really change it, or a charged Hydra shot. Both on very similar health here with 10 seconds. If Grimwood could land another hit, that would be a monumental comeback. They have! They've taken the lead with 5 seconds to go. Rush ready, and they're actually going to use it! Wait, what? Yeah, they got the KO, I was going to say. I wasn't sure what I was about to look at there. Grimwood decided to fling out the rush anyway. Catches Ribbon Girl out. And will take the first point. And I guess they must believe that they're able to charge their rush just as quick as Shelly. And to be fair, they're not half wrong because they're already halfway up on that rush charge. And so far, another hit with the Hydra, and this time a charged one. And Shelly once again on the back foot. And Grimwood is now starting to play a little bit more cheeky. Are they trying to go for a perfect? Nope, not like that. Unfortunately, bounced down at the wrong time. Dropped straight into that grab. You hate to see it. You also hate to see that because that's a... No, it's not a KO. Shelly just dropped just a little too quickly there. Shelly lost their arm completely on that right-hand side. Grimwood went for the punish, got the rush, but did not get the KO because Shelly dropped to the ground just a little too quick. Phoenix is going to come out with that rush, but Grimwood again had it completely blocked, and this time it's Grimwood who has a monumental health lead. Arm weak on the left-hand side. If that goes down, that's essentially going to be a free grab for Grimwood, surely. It does fade away in the end, and it's Grimwood who gets caught. Went for the grab, but Shelly not only managed to move around with the mobility of that ribbon, but able to get a grab of their own. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. Ribbon goes down, and Grimwood, our reigning champion, is looking to book their ticket in the grand final to actually try and retain this title. 2 points to 0. Shelly once again has to come from behind in this set. And again, it just feels like it started to swim away from Shelly at the end of the first match. Both times, Shelly was able to get back into it. Granted, the first one was literally a last second taking the lead. And then the second match was, they had that health lead. They had that momentum. They just needed a couple more hits. And Grimwood, determination personified, stuck in there, got it all the way back. And Shelly just did not have an answer for it in the second point, just like in the previous match. So Shelly's got it all to do, and they know it. They know it to the point that they've switched to Twin Tail. So no more Ribbon, it's back to Twin Tail, coming in with the Roaster and the Shack Ramp. But already being pinned down by the Rang and the Tri-Blast. Grimwood switching up the arms beautifully here, and so far it's catching Twin Tail out on every single hit. Arm weak on that left hand side already. Shelly has to be incredibly careful. You only use that slow-mo so many times before that shield does eventually give way. But finally catching Grimwood out, 355 straight into their face, and Grimwood tries to come in with a shot of their own. Shetty drops shield a little too early, both arms weak now as a result. This should be a free punish. In the end, it's just an uncharged bolt hit that gets Shetty down in the end, but you can tell Shetty was trying to make absolutely sure the grab didn't happen. Unfortunately, Grimwood will take the point in the end. And this is set point, my friends. Grimwood will stick with the same setup. Shetty is now going to bring in a bolt of their own, the tri-bolt to be exact. So explosions versus the stun. Do remember that Tri-Blaster is still suspected of self-destruct, which is what Shetty I think is trying to go for here now. Both with rush available, and it is going to connect. Grimwood will take again another good chunk of damage, 285 this time round. Again, just using the shield to just wobble along. Remember, that's one of Lollipop's abilities. The Ran comes out, but Shetty easily able to deflect it this time round. But I just feel like if Grimwood could get another rush connect, it would start swinging that momentum back away again, but not with a stun grab combo like that it won't. Shetty starting to fight back into this. Clearly the character switch is starting to help them. And a nice charged roaster straight to the face. Shetty actually almost has rush back available. Remember, if Grimwood can come back and win this point, it will be all over. It's why they need to be so careful. 40 seconds left to go. Both with rush available. Shetty goes for it. That'll be a KO. That will be a KO. And that will take us into a potential fight back here for Shetty. Shetty needs to win this match to keep this set alive. And, well, Grimwood wobbling away in front of them, does get caught out with the overuse of that shield. And again, another quick stun into a roaster punch combination. Shetty holds fast this time round, blocks the entirety of that rush for the most part. Arms weak on both sides, and immediately down they go. The bolt does land on Grimwood, but it's essentially a traded hit there, as Shetty comes in with yet another full-fledged rush. Grimwood back into the corner, almost in critical condition. Just about able to stop the follow-up punch from Shetty. Very good timing there. Bolt slows down and explodes harmlessly. Going to do so again. This bolt pressure from Grimwood is trying to force Shetty into a mistake, but it's also allowing Grimwood to charge that rush up as quickly as possible. Both went for a grab, both missed with the grab. Crucially, Grimwood tried again, not to be. And now Grimwood is a punch away from going down. Shetty goes for the rush, but it's not going to connect. Grimwood will block the rest of it, but unfortunately falls to the grab. You just knew that Grimwood was probably looking for that rush, but Shetty had to take that gamble, dashed forward, went for the grab. Grimwood did not respond in time. Well, here we go again, everyone. Here we go again. Shetty is once again trying to do the reverse sweep. Buster Beach and Via Dulce have been banned. Shetty made a call and a half. Switching out with Ribbon Girl. It took them a while to get back in the swing of things with Twin Tail, but they finally did do it. Twin Tail was absolutely the answer that they needed, and it worked beautifully for them. But they're gonna switch it back to Ribbon Girl for this match. An interesting decision. We'll see how that ends up playing out. Are we going to see weapons substituted as well? That's the other question. Roast and Tri-Bolt going to come back on, but this time they're going to be on the ribbon. Grimwood is going to stick with Lola. Going to stick with the Hydra. That Rang is coming back in as well. Already inflating to a nice decent size. As we go to Temple Grounds for match number 4. Shetty's got it all to do so. Shetty obviously thought that part of what worked with Twin Tail works, but they needed something a little different. And just like that, they switched back to Ribbon. But we've seen that Hydra and that Rang just completely shut down Ribbon in the past couple matches. So Shetty can make this work this time round. But so far, Grimwood is once again just keeping Shetty out of the air. Able to pick them out with either the Rang or, most importantly, the Hydra. It just hits quite a lot of it. Shelly bounces towards the 2 remaining pillars. Both with rush already available, and Shelly is already at half, and just it's unfortunate when you go for stuff like that. Well, to be fair, that's alright then. That's alright for Shelly. Both of them have missed with their rushes, but Shelly really did pop there at a inopportune moment. Grimwood was already down with shield and bounced straight behind the pillar, so that rush was never going to connect. Arm weak on the left-hand side for Shelly as Grimwood tries to keep the pressure up. Actually just playing a very patient game here. 15 seconds to go. It looks like they're stalling out the clock. They most probably will be stalling out the clock here. Just trying to catch Shelly for another couple of bits of damage as we start the 10-second countdown. I don't see Shelly getting back into this. With 2 seconds to go, rush will not happen. And the grab will not get to KO. The health is very close. But crucially, Ribbon Girl was in critical, Lola was not. So Lola takes that point, and once again, Grimwood finds themselves on set point. If they win this, they're in the grand final. Shelly needs to find a way through this Lola pop defense, and that's how they're going to do it. Grimwood went for the grab and is punished with a rush, 315. Grimwood does have a rush of their own, but again caught by the slap. Actually, yeah, Shelly switched to the slap Amanda, but is now going to call it out for 315. Knocked back quite big time by the wind. Just like that, Shelly's advantage is practically gone. Yes, slaps and tri-bolts. Grimwood sticking with what works for them, the Rang and the Hydra. Again, just a direct hit with the Hydra. Not the Hydra, the Rang. Didn't even need to curve around properly this time round. Just like that, Shelly is being knocked back. Just about on half health. Got the stun, but was not able to follow it with a punish. Couldn't land the second one. The Hydra just punches straight through a lot of them. Grimwood has rushed. Shelly has got to be careful here. And you can tell a little bit of fear in play here. If Grimwood lands a rush, it could be a KO. But Shelly gets a very crucial grab, but it's not going to be the rush. But thankfully, Shelly lands. Shelly landed, and the grab just missed. The grab was just shy of them. It must have been millimeters, if that. Does get the bolt. Will the grab KO? No, it won't. They need one more punch. One punch literally will decide this. Shelly has the lead. Does get the jump on Lola, literally. And it's one apiece again. Shelly is not out of this yet. If Shelly wins this, we're going to match 5 for the second match in a row, essentially. Roaster Bolt. Shelly definitely ditching the slaps. Grimwood sticking with the Hydra. Has now actually switched out into a roaster of their own and is going to pummel Shelly straight back down. This is a very, very close and intense set here. Shelly fighting to try and knock the reigning champion out. Grimwood trying to get themselves into the grand final. Both went for the rush. Shelly, that was a bad idea. Shelly was already out of place. Thought that they could get a little bit of advantage, but Grimwood's punch was way too close. And Shelly is practically in critical condition. And Grimwood has not even gone past down 75%. Okay, now they have. Grab finally changes that, and the grab follow-up also missed. Shelly is essentially one punch away, and somehow they can get caught in anything there from Grimwood. This is very aggressive stuff from Shelly as they land another charged roaster hit. Grimwood just about on that half mark. Ribbon's arm weak on the left-hand side with 40 seconds to go, but just about able to get the shield up, but it won't matter because the shield breaks. 150 damage, it's all that's needed, and Grimwood just about hangs on, winning the set 3-1. Shelly is out. They will not be able to add the Challenge Cup to their 5-week winning Scrap Star streak, and Grimwood is into the grand finals with a chance to retain their Challenge Cup title. But in order to do so, Grimwood will have to take on Yada. Whew. So no match 5 in this best of 5. And it's all to play for here as we welcome Yada back to the stage. Yada made it through to the grand finals. Let me just quickly just snip things up. Before we start, however, I have been told that something needs to happen here because we have a little bit of an announcement to make. And I just need to bring this down for just a moment. Because you see, I think you all might want to know the results of something very interesting. So I feel like we should probably get that announcement made, should we? Before this match starts, we are going to show you the EU Arms Summer PR Top 10. So, hope you're all ready for this. Nice dramatic reveal. And here it is. This is your top 10 for the European Arms Summer PR. In 10th we've got Penzo, who currently they were 6th. They have unfortunately dropped to 10th with 21 points in total. Coslina is new to the top 10 with 21 points total as well. They're in 9th. Junior is into 8th with a total point count of 28, also new to the top 10. Shetty was 5th, has dropped down into 7th with a points total of 37. Grimwood was 3rd, but they have dropped 3 places with a total of 42 points. Okrim is promoted down from 7th up to 5th with 47 points total. Iceman is down to 4th, was 2nd unfortunately. That Challenge Cup segment really did a number on that one, I'm afraid. And that's down to 53 points total. Yam goes up from 4th to 3rd with a point total of 56. Yada, who is in the grand final right now, moved from 6th all the way up to 2nd with a total points total of 82. But Riffa, once again, keeps that number 1 spot with a point total of 143. Riffa is just consistently on another level, as he generally always is. But you can bet that things could still change. And obviously, nearly there was Nihilus. They were so close, but unfortunately just not to be this time around. But still, great promise from everyone involved in this community. And also, a nice wide spread of characters here as well. We've got Kid Cobra, Twintail, Cobra again, Twintail again. Okay, I take that back. Brass, Min, Ribbon, and then Kid Cobra. Not Kid Cobra. Yes, Kid Cobra. Yes, no, Ninjara. I don't know why I said Kid Cobra. I say Kid Cobra because it's on there anyway, so. Yeah, Riffa up there with Ninjara. The only Ninjara on that top 10. We got 2 Twintails, 2 Min-Mins, a Ribbon Girl, 2 Brasses, and 2 Cobras. But still, that's really good to see. And obviously Bite and Bark nearly punching their way in there. So yeah, congratulations to everyone who made the top 10. They're obviously honorable mention to Nihilus. And hopefully, in the next season, we'll have even more to look forward to. And, you know, this community is, it's as close as ever. But, Riffa, someone will stop you. Someone will take that number 1 spot eventually. But seriously though, things could really all change, especially with how this grand final is shaping up. Grimwood, currently down to 6th in the standings, has a chance to retain their title. Yada up in 2nd. That's going to do numbers for him. That's going to do numbers for Yada big time if they can win this grand final right here. Grimwood obviously had to come down from the underground bracket. Yada made it through by beating Shetty in the actual winners final. I do believe matches have been determined, so just hop on over. And we are going to be starting on Mausoleum, so give a nice little break for everybody involved. The match is ready to go. Somebody reminded me in the Discord to show the PR. I'd already remembered it because it was already in my head. I was like, I know exactly what I'm doing. So I just saw that message literally right now. It was already alright. We good. We good. So, start of our grand final. Can Grimwood retain the title, or will Yada take that from them? We will soon find out as our best of 5 starts in the grand final. Grimwood coming in with the Kid Cobra, coming in with a clapback and a pop. Meanwhile, Yada is coming in with a toaster and a coolerang. So some fire and ice shenanigans afoot. Already you can see the effect of the clapback. If it's out, it will ping the arm straight back at you. And you'll have to take defensive action of your own arm because it will hurt. And just like that is exactly what's happened. The coolerang, Yada was so close to the clapback, it bounced straight back into them. Yada had nowhere to go, froze themselves, and Grimwood took full advantage of it. Both with Rush already available. And again, you just see the toaster just U-turn around. And so far, that clapback working beautifully for Cobra. Yada needs to find a way of being able to punch around that. They do have the Rang. And that's not going to happen at all. Yada activated Rush and then had to think about it. And it gave Grimwood time to not only get themselves into a good position, but also to fling in the rush of their own. The clapback just full on charged through everything. And Yada now finds themselves in critical condition with 20 seconds to go. They're going to have to come back and try this again, I feel. Or will they? 15 seconds to go. They clip the ankles of Grimwood. And again with the boomerang. Both now in critical condition. 10 seconds to go. Yada has Rush. They are literally a punch away. They have got to make a connection here. They just missed with the Rush. Oh, they just missed with the Rush. And that, I'm afraid, is going to be Grimwood to take for that first point. Oh, Yada, that was unfortunate. They are going to stick with the toaster and the Rang, it seems. And Grimwood is now going to drop the clapback and go for a whammer. And that's Rush already available. The squeaky little hammer starts to do its thing. And, well, that's going to be a big-time punish. Look at that. 365. Grimwood hasn't even been dealt any damage in this point. And Yada in critical condition. We'll have to do yet another fight back. And finally they catch the freeze. Still no perfects in this tournament. That might be a first. The grab is broken through this time around. Yada is somehow hanging in there, but with 60 seconds, Grimwood still has a monumental health lead, but it's very quickly being shrunken down, isn't it? Another head-on collision with the Rang. Just about diving away from that hammer. And Grimwood was already way too close to the floor. Yada tried to force a shield break, but was not going to happen. Grimwood also has Rush available now. Shield goes down and caught in midair again. Both on similar health. And Yada again avoids and hits with the Rang. Yada making some absolutely crucial plays here and just about hits before the hammer makes contact. Punches through the grab, but the Rang misses. The Rang actually misses this time round. One more hit will take Grimwood out. Yada probably has another 2 punches in them at the very least. And look at this, 10 seconds almost on the clock, but it won't come anyway. The Rang does finally connect. It's 1 apiece. Yada somehow came back from a substantial gap. And he's immediately going to come out with the Rush. The ring does hit 165 in the end. Yada was absolutely not facing the right way there. And he's going to get quickly popped back down by the clapback. Trampoline is obviously out, and Grimwood not afraid to go for a little bouncy time. Clapback again, just bringing the coolerang back into Twin Soul's face, but the Rang will connect this time round. Grimwood just drops straight to the floor. That's what it does if it connects to you if you're in the air. So we're just trying to keep all of this pressure up, fighting from the middle. Gets a hit and then gets a grab as well. You feel like a Rush is probably coming soon, but just able to use the Rang to just shut Grimwood down, which is why Grimwood hasn't really blinked an eye first. And in the end, it's going to be 305 Rush damage for Yada. That puts them in a good position. Grimwood in critical condition. You just feel the rush from Grim is coming. If they can get into a position, the clamp back might be questionable for it, but it can push through quite a bit of what Yada has here. Grab denied, and Yada gets the shield up just in the nick of time. Can't get the rang hit that they were looking for, and the arm is weak on that left side if Grimwood can keep this pressure up. But crucially, Yada just needs one more punch or 15 seconds to just whiz away. 10-second countdown. Yada has rushed, and the rush will connect just as my screen didn't, so I do apologize for that. And Yada, well, Yada had to really fight for that. That was a close call. Of that, there is no doubt. Yada had to come back from, let's face it, that second point. Grimwood had complete control in that, and it tipped away from them. And we're going straight back to Mausoleum. Via and Buster were the bans. Straight back to Mausoleum, says Grimwood. So they are absolutely certain that that can work for them. But we're going to see. We are going to see where this plays here. As I get a quick chance to breathe, double the switch. So, Grimwood has switched into Max Brass, was Cobra. Yada has switched from Twin Tail into Bite and Bark. So two again, very different playstyles. Grimwood coming in with the nade and the Hydra, so going for those good old big explosions. Meanwhile, Yada going to come in with the Powerball and the Sparky, essentially double shots. And obviously they've got their little uncharged toaster punchy Barky Dog. Grimwood, despite taking a good bit of aggression already, does come back with a grab of their own, and Bite and Bark is gonna miss the first rush of this point. Grimwood able to dodge away and block the remainder of it. And so far it's relatively even Stevens. Obviously with Max Brass, Brass is such a bigger target to hit. Gonna come in with the rush here, 340. I thought Yada had enough time to get the shield back up, but was not on the ground long enough for that to happen. So far it's going to be Bark who gets pushed straight back down, and Bite even also jumps straight into that hit as well. But Grimwood also making their fair share of little misjudgments here, both jumping into their respective punches, both into critical. Grimwood into their perma buff state. Yada just about catching Grimwood as they force themselves to reapply that perma buff. And Max Brass at this stage is always scary. Comes in with the rush and it will connect. 240. That's a KO. And 11 seconds on the clock. They certainly left it late. But that was exactly what Grimwood needed. Keeps themselves alive in this match. Remember that Grimwood has a lot more work to do than Yada does. You have to remember, Grimwood has to force a bracket reset in order to keep their title chance alive. Yada gets caught with the grab, but again, that grab comes after a good amount of damage just dished just by punching on the side of Yada. Again, just catching them out every now and then. Grimwood taking down Bark yet again. The poor doggo just completely down. Yada does have rush available. Seemingly he can get at least a shot. A grab will also happily do for them. Again, using Bark to just have that little height advantage. Force the self-destruct on the nade, which is where a lot of the damage is also coming from. Like I said, running any of the explosive arms is high risk, high reward. Because if it explodes right near you, well, look at the damage it's doing. But at the same time, Grimwood won't mind that too much, because it strengthens him up anyway. And like I said, crit stage quit. Wow, I can't even say a word anymore as this action goes back and forth. Crit stage Max Brass is always a scary thing to behold. If Yada could just land a couple more punches, they could swing it in their favor. A shot would definitely help. 20 seconds to go. Both now find themselves in critical condition. Grimwood is going for the KO. They'll likely get the rush here. 10 seconds to go, and Yada has dropped their health lead here and is going to get KO'd as a result. And Grimwood immediately takes that out of it. It's 1 apiece. The second Brass got that health advantage with 10 seconds to go. Suddenly, the fear of holding on to that rush just in case something happens turned to, if I rush now, the game is over. And that's exactly what Max Brass did. Yada tried to jump out the way, and Brass caught them fair and square. 1 apiece in the grand final as we move to the Temple Grounds. Scrapyard and Fire again banned. I don't think we've seen either of the counter stages in this entire tournament. It's just been the 5 starter stages. Grimwood going to stick with Brass. Meanwhile, Yada is going to switch into Min Min. So Bite and Bark definitely not working for them there. Let's see if they can go with that little extra movement, and obviously that permacharge state that the Watt can bring. Megawatt and the Roaster coming into play. Grimwood coming in with that chill, and the Roaster so going for some double glove action of their own. Does get another chilled state onto Min Min, but obviously already behind those pillars. Can't really do anything at that point. And it's going to get an unguarded Roaster straight to the face. Much higher damage, obviously, because of the fact it is an unguided arm. And Brass already up to their rush potential. Yada's glove just harmlessly bounces off the shield. And you just see Grimwood just taking their time. They're playing the patient game. They're just remaining around the pillar, forcing Yada to come towards them, and then punish them with a rush placement like that. Yada already in to critical condition. They've got the Watt charged up, but it's just not hitting Brass at all, really. It's just bouncing off their shield and doing nothing more. Arm is weak on that left side if they can keep the pressure up, but not like that. They won't. Just immediately knock back down. Yada is a punch away, and there is the first point again to Max Brass. As our second point gets underway, the Watt and the Roaster is still going to be the combination that Yada wants to go for here. And yeah, Grimwood's certainly not going to switch anything from that. Knows full well that this set wonderfully works here. Min Min just can't seem to do anything against Brass in this environment with these set of arms. Gets the charge back up on that Megawatt, but again, it's not really doing much. Finally does get good big damage, 370. If the Watt does connect, it does that to you every time. The chill does finally come up, and Grimwood does punish again with another grab. Yada is in critical condition, and this is looking like it could be going Grimwood's way as well. Yada's got to pull something very big out of the bag here if they want to top Max Brass. Another chilled hit, and that's going to be a grab. That's going to be a big hook from Brass. And just like that, Grimwood has taken the lead. It's 2 points to 1. Grimwood is a match away from forcing a reset. And the stage picks are coming thick and fast. Mausoleum is the pick from Yada. Yada has to win this, or we have a bracket reset on our hands. Our reigning champion is not going quietly into the night. If Yada wants to try and go for that #1 spot in the PR season, they need to win this tournament. They need to win this. They need to win on this level. And so far, the Roaster will connect immediately. What is permacharged from Grimwood? He's being forced away. Forced back against the wall for the time being. Yada coming out with the same arms but with different mindset in mind this time around. But again, is going to get punished with the overuse of that shield. Just completely taken out by another grab from the big man. As Yada punched down into critical so quickly. And so far, this is just not working. Grimwood just relentless. What can Yada do at this stage to try and stop this Brass? Because, well, if it keeps like that, Grimwood is going to easily breeze through into a 3-1, and this will be a bracket reset. It's almost like Yada is just losing the placement just that little bit more. He's able to get a good couple of hits in, but all it takes for Grimwood is for a movement like that, the momentum is shut down, and they'll immediately buff out and just reapply all of this pressure. Another chill into a roaster hit. That's so much more damage than Yada can really deal with. Reads the rush beautifully again. That's another cancelled out rush. And Yada is able to just about back away to charge up that megawatt. It's just, Brass is just shrugging it off like it's nothing. Another big hug. Yada is a punch or a grab away from going down. The rush does not connect this time round. Yada just about able to block that for the most part. But again, Grimwood is just able to just brush off the Watt. It's just too slow to really take advantage of Brass. That's going to be a big hug. That's a 3.1. And that, my friends, is a bracket reset. Well, my friends, this is where we're at. It is a bracket reset. I hope you're ready for this, because we're going to have another best of 5 here. So, Grimwood, the reigning Challenge Cup champion, has a chance to take this title for another 2 weeks. We are going back to Mausoleum, and I don't think anything's going to change. Grimwood coming in yet again with the Brass. Yada coming in yet again with the Min. It's all to play here for now, folks, isn't it? Round 1 of the grand final reset. Grimwood ended that match, ended that set 3 points to 1. And well, Yada has got it all to do now. They've got to try and figure out a way to get through Grimwood and this intimidating Brass. They're still believing that the megawatt is the answer, but I'm honestly not sure if it is, because Brass is able to not only just sort of like see the Watt coming, move out of the way. The roaster isn't really hitting as much as it should be, and these grabs are just brutal for Grimwood. Arm weak on the left hand side, and it's going to be big punishment all the way. Yada straight back down into critical. Nothing has changed, it seems. This has just been 3 matches in a row of consistent punishment from Grimwood. Finally makes an error though, gets caught on the shot, and a big rush does finally ebb away at Grimwood's health. Just missing with the Watt. Not quite clipping the ankle enough. Yada is still a punch away from going down, but suddenly the table has turned. The momentum has shifted. And if Yada can just about hold on just a little bit longer, they might be able to force another mistake out of Grim. But now here comes scary crit max Brass. But look at this, Grimwood is actually a punch away. But no, after all of that, it doesn't matter again. Yada falls down to another punch. And all of that hard work from Yada is all for naught in the end, but the momentum was starting to shift there. Yada was certainly not out of it by a long shot. And they're still fully committed to this attempt. 385 this time with the rush. Almost getting Grim into the halfway mark. again, another big grab, and 2 in a row. Puts Yada pretty much back on their level again. And this is what Yada's having to consistently worry about. They're going to be able to block most of it this time around. Are very weak on that right hand side, but Grimwood can't punish it. Then they have gone for the shield break actually. Thought they were going to ignore it for just a moment, but they also weren't able to punish it either. But what just about helped Yada stay in there. Grimwood just about blocking the wall, and suddenly Yada is finding a way through. They're learning what Grimwood generally does with this brass. And gets another little roaster hit of their own here. They've got a rush available if they wish to use it, and they're going to do so. They catch Max Brass out in mid-air, 310. They're now in a position where if they can get another punch, they'll take it, and they do. 1 point apiece in the first match of this reset. Grimwood is going to go for the roaster and the chill. It's a combination we've seen them use so many times, and once again the pressure is just consistently on Min Min. Jumping straight in, going for the grab, and yet a second one. Yada just can't seem to move out of the way of these in time. The second Max Brass has it. That's a third, a hat trick of grabs. Trying to go for a fourth, fifth, sixth. Grimwood seems to only want to throw out grabs these days. This is a fighting game, man. Come on, you gotta throw punches. The Watt does hit Brass and takes him out the sky, but again, another grab. Grimwood, what are you doing? Somebody obviously told Grimwood you can't win a game by consistently grab spamming. Grimwood trying to prove them wrong. Connects with the rush. They're gonna start with a point advantage. And they are on the way. They are on the way to start thinking about calling themselves Challenge Cup champion for the second session in a row. DNA Lab is the pick from Yatta. And here we go. Grimwood, surprise, surprise, gonna stick with the Max Brass. Yada is going to switch out this time round. So no Min Min this time. We're going to go to Twin Tail. That Coolerang, Toaster, and Parabola is going to be the loadout of choice. And Yada is going to bring in the Toaster and the Coolerang to start things off. Meanwhile, Grim is going to go with the nade of the Chiller this time round. Not the roaster. And already big damage with the nade. Just straight into Twin Tail's face. Exploding on impact. Both on relatively same health at the moment, but obviously that can all very quickly change. 6 tubes up. Already you can see Yada thinking about just dancing around them at the moment, but no, gonna actually score up one-on-one in the center of the stage. Gets caught out with another grab. And that's been Yada's problem so far, that they just keep falling foul of Grimwood's grabs. Wherever they go, Yada seems to unfortunately find themselves in the range of it. Grab just missing this time around. The chill just hit and baited out the grab. Yada thought about going for a counter rush of their own, realized that was not going to happen and had to shield the whole of that. So no damage really. It was just chip damage in the end for Grimwood against Yada, but Yada didn't score a single bit. But they have managed to find a way around Brass. The Rang is actually hitting a lot more than I thought it was. Grimwood already in critical, which does mean that those permabuffs do activate for Max Brass. But it's the Toaster that hits in the end, I think it was. And Brass finally goes down, but can Yada find the second point that they need to tie this set at one apiece? So far, Grimwood is giving them the hardest of this and just about avoided the grab. Beautifully done there by Yada. Very good timing all round. Both with rush available as Grimwood is coming in with double nade. So, well, look out for 2 AoE explosions now instead of just the 1, because 1 was bad enough. And they're both going to go for rush at the same time, but Yada had their arms more readily available than Grimwood, who'd already extended one of theirs out. Yada got the better of it. And another tube goes down, but the explosion again catches Yada from behind, so they can't fully go in for any kind of punishment. They do have a slight arm break. They're able to just about stay up and force Grimwood back into a critical position. Not quite getting the explosion on the tube. Going back through the freeze, finally gets the buffs back up, and just about punched through the grab. And shrugs off the second one. I think the grab was a little close. Forces out the response from the grab attempt. Punishing with the rush, but they still don't quite have their health lead, and Yada obviously now with a rush of their own, and 20 seconds to go gets another clip against Grimwood. Yada is actually forcing the matter here with 10 seconds to go. They don't really need to do so, they have their health lead, and now they suddenly don't. Now they have 5 seconds to try and turn this around, and Brass is just going to bait this out. Oh my god! Oh my word! And Brass gets caught at his own game. Oh. Well, what a way to tie up the set. What a way to tie up the set there. That was just... Grimwood just dancing around that tube, baiting out the timer, trying to force Yada into going for the rush. Turns out Yada didn't need the rush, forced a self-destruct on Brass and got the KO with 2 seconds to go. Sometimes you just can't write how matches end. And I was just looking at that entire situation going, he's literally baiting a mistake out of Yada. And instead, they played themselves. That was quite amusing. We are going to Temple Grounds. It should be on Temple Grounds. It is on Temple Grounds. Yada gonna stick with the Twin Tail. Grimwood is going to switch from the Brass to the Min Min. So the grand final reset is 1 apiece here. Yada gonna come in with a Power Ball and a Toaster. Min Min meanwhile gonna go in with a Tri-Blast and a Roaster. As we progress into match number 3, and already, once again, the pillar dance begins anew. This time it's Yada. Yada goes one way, Grimwood goes the other. You just love to see this good old arms traditional dance in this game. The pillar does finally go down as Grimwood tries to kick their way to the side, but does get caught out in the end. Remember, the blast does still have the self-destruct. The self-destructive nature that the nades have. As you can see, there they go again. Both combatants with rush readily available. And Yada with the slight health lead at the moment. But we've seen so far in both of the sets that these two have played, anything can quickly change. And Grimwood baited out another quick follow-up for that rush reply. Yada not quite in the critical there. Now they are. And that's the thing with the Tri-Blast. If the Tri-Blast hits and it's charged, it will do the damage with the bolt and then damage with the explosion. And Yada is just a punch away from going down. And there it is. Not even a punch. It's a grab. And Grimwood retakes the advantage, but still a bit to do here. The character switch very much helping them in every regard. Yada gonna come in with Power Ball Toaster again. Grimwood gonna come in with the Blast and the Chiller this time round. They're gonna try and freeze this Twin Tail, much like Twin Tail tries to freeze the upcoming arms. It clipped Min Min, but it wasn't enough to be able to get any kind of rush confirmed with it, but thankfully they get the shield up just in the nick of time to make sure that Grimwood could not reply back with a rush of their own. And actually it's Grimwood forced into the corner here at the moment, being peppered down by Twin Tail. Needs to find a way of fighting back out from this. Is able to land a couple of punches, but they're not knocking Twin Tail back. The Tri-Blast charge finally does exactly that. The Power Baller just breezes on through again, and that gets a nice grab connect. Grimwood in critical condition. Yada just needs a punch or two. Yep, just the second punch will do it, both with rush. that is a grab, and not quite in KO range yet, but you feel like a punch or two will definitely bring Yada into KO range on that rush. Oh, that was... Did that happen as I thought it happened? Did the Tri-Blast, the second it spawned on the retraction, it was already charged and exploded? Is that what happened? Somebody needs to correct me. And that, Grimwood went for an immediate straight up rush at the start, and Yada says, nah, that's immediately blocked. Explosion just about keeps Yada at bay, but Grimwood is going to rue that immediate missed opportunity, but Yada isn't able to do any better. Only chip damage on that side and is taken down by Grimwood in the end. And just like that, Grimwood will have a second bite at the cherry with another rush already charged, and Yada's going to do it all over again. And now it's Twin Tail's turn to be kept in that corner, but they do manage to just punch Min down, and they were overzealous trying to go for a punch there. Grimwood fires in the rush. If they could score a win here, they will lead this set 2-1. The blasts are exploding, but Yada is just about able to get out of the way with them. Caught by something there. That must have been the Brawler. Yada, with rush available, does get a quick little pick on Grimwood. And another self-destruct. Grimwood is not quite at rush percentage. Arm weak on the right-hand side. Yada senses a chance to go for it and gets the KO. They knew if they could at least... They saw it. They saw the exclamation mark come up, and if the shield breaks, you're dealing so much damage through that. Grimwood knew that was the case, had to try and go for the evade, but Yada knew exactly where they were going to go, and Yada is 2-1 up. That first set was very much a wake-up call for Yada. They are back in this and now find themselves on the brink of taking this title away from Grimwood. But it's not over yet. It is absolutely not over yet. Okay, so Grimwood has to win this and the following one to retain now. They were 3-1 up in the initial final, forcing the reset. They took the lead in this one and now have conceded twice to Yada. Is Yada about to do what Grimwood did to what Grimwood just did to Yada in the previous match? Well, we are going to find out. We are going back to Mausoleum. Can Yada seal the tournament? Or will Grimwood fight back once again? Well, this is a... What is happening here? Grimwood has gone Twin Tail. And Yada has gone Bite and Bark. What is happening here, my friends? Well, Bite and Bark is going to come out with a Powerballer and a Sparky. Grimwood is going to come out with a Nade and a Hydra to go up against Bite and Bark, which, to be fair, the Hydra's a really good call, since it does mean that if Yada does want to go for that lovely little height bounce that Bark provides, it's certainly going to shut them down a fair bit. But this Powerballer is going to knock Grimwood back repeatedly if they're not able to keep on top of it, and the Powerballer hits again. Remember, that stun is going to be so crucial for Yada if they can land it, and obviously Grimwood going for all of the heavy damage. Bark goes down yet again, the poor doggo. Grimwood comes in with the rush, but Yada is able to avoid it. Their doggo does it, but that doesn't matter. They're not going to want to taking the health damage. Look at that, Grimwood had that Sparky slowed down as much as possible, but took it anyway. And despite being incredibly close, it was just consistent, fast-paced trades there. And Yada just could not hit the rush in the end. Grimwood was able to just about sidestep in time, and then Shields were up. Yada knew full well that was not going to happen there, but they're making it work the hard way. Finally getting some punches through. Grimwood into critical condition, and a grab will immediately swing that back. Yada still has health. Lead goes for the rush. Connects with the rush. Is that a KO? It is a KO. Grimwood just about able to hang on in there. And if Grimwood wins this, we go to match number 5. The nade exploding harmlessly in the air. Yada is going to stick with that power baller and spark combination there. Obviously happy with how it worked. The nade just blows up on the poor dog. You leave that dog alone. The dog's done nothing to you so far this set. Another punch comes out. It actually slowed down this time around, and Grimwood thinks nothing of it, but is unfortunately going to jump straight into Yada's face. The knockback sent her just enough away, so Twintail did not get the full amount of that rush damage, but it's damage nonetheless as Yada starts with a decent health lead. That can all change if Grimwood activates this rush. It hits Bark, but it doesn't hit Bite, and that's the most crucial thing there for Yada. No damage at all from that rush. As the pressure continues to come up, Bark goes down once again. We'll probably be saying that for the rest of the match. Arm weak on the left-hand side. Grimwood falling quite rapidly to the pressure that Yada is bringing to the table. Sparky just about able to avoid, but the brawler hits once again. Grimwood finds themselves in critical condition. If Yada can just about hold on without needing to use the rush, they'll do so, both with it readily available. And you can tell Yada will likely not want to use this rush unless they absolutely have to, especially with 20 seconds left to go. Middle platform is down, so the trampoline is up. Twintail decided. Yeah, that was a very brave decision to go for there. Grimwood dashed right forward onto the trampoline, thinking they could take advantage, but all Yada needs to do is punch. Just hit one hit in midair, and that would do it. And this is technically championship point for Yada if they can win. Grimwood now is in a must-win situation, because if Yada does this, the tournament's over. Bark goes down as we see Sparky Baller come out again. It's the Tri-Bolt and the nade that comes out for Grimwood, and like I said, both with rush already available. The nade is a risky strategy to go for, but they do get the bolt stun, but crucially could not punish it. And it's just consistent trades back and forth now, remaining on relatively equal health. The nade exploded right in front of Grimwood, so the knockback ensures the rush comes out. But Bark with the save! Bark makes an absolute brilliant save! And the stun into the shock into the grab puts Grimwood past the halfway mark. Grimwood slows the grab down but can't do anything from it. If Yada can confirm a rush from here, the game is over. Yada is up as high into the air as possible. One more punch is all Yada needs to win the title. Yada is your Challenge Cup winner. Grimwood cannot retain, having won 3-1 in the grand final, loses 3-1 in the reset to Yada. Yada wins the 33rd EU Challenge Cup title. Oh boy, they had to fight for that. Oh my word. And Yada in the Discord with 3 simple words: never underestimate Bark. Oh my word. And yeah, not gonna lie, that Bark saved Yada a good few times in this tournament. But none more so there. The rush came out from Grimwood, and Bark fired off a glove that stopped it dead. Wow. And with that, that's the tournament over. What an amazing what a match. What a tournament. A lot of those matches went the distance. A lot of the best of 3s most definitely went the distance. Oh my word. Grimwood was knocked out in their first fight against Replicant. Grimwood had to go through Yam, Iceman, Okrim, and Sheddy to get all the way back to the grand final. So kudos to that. They finished second in this tournament. Sheddy finishes third, so still not quite there for the EU Challenge Cup for Sheddy, but you can probably bet that they will be back to try and challenge again. But Yada is the one who is able to hold on to the bitter end. They had a very close best of 5 match with Sheddy, going 3 points to 2. They had a close match with Iceman before that as well, going 2-1 there. And then losing 3-1 in that first grand final before swinging it back the other way with a 3-1 of their own. So, Yada is your champion. Grimwood will finish second this time round. Sheddy is third. And Okrim, massive props to you there. 4th place in this tournament. Definitely nothing to sniff at. Definitely nothing to be sad about, especially with the match between you and Replicant that went 2-1. Props to you, and well done to everyone who took part. Hopefully you've all enjoyed it. Hopefully this inspired you to bring in to maybe start dipping into arms yourself if you want to do so. And obviously you've seen where it can go. All of these a lot of these tournaments give you PR points, which accumulates into that top 10 for seasons. So there's a lot to play for in this community. I have been Smashy Kancho. Hopefully you have all enjoyed yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you again for another one. And don't even ask me what happened to my voice there. I went for a high pitch, and my voice unfortunately does not have enough water down it, so it failed and my voice just went somewhere else. Not entirely sure. Thank you all for joining in. Take care of yourselves. Hopefully we see you again soon. Stay fresh. Oh yeah, and before I forget, if you do want to actually follow any of what we do here, all of our social media accounts are right there. Our Twitter, our YouTube, our Twitch, obviously, and our Discord server, which you can view the description if you would like to join. Okay, I'm leaving for real this time. Stay fresh.